Have you ever wondered how some of these Instagram brands create these crazy graphic design tees, like sports tees and just all kind of sports stuff, different players, anything you could think of? Well, today I'm going to be walking you through how to do. No more talking, let's jump straight into it. So this is the final product. I think it kind of fits the same type of look that we were going for. Nothing too crazy, just 3D text, bunch of renders. You see shirts like this all the time. So I'm gonna try to break it down as quick as possible. Now to actually do this type of design, it is gonna take a while, but I'm gonna try to, like I said, just speed it up a little bit just so y'all can, learn what y'all need to learn and then use it how y'all wanna use it. So, all right, we're gonna start with the front and then I'm gonna try to work in the back. Okay, so the first thing I actually started with was just like a base background, just something that I could have there just so I can build around it. From there, I went to the text. And I started with these fonts at the top. I did Black Mamba and Kobe here in the middle. The font that I use is called Flexure. I'm gonna leave a link to it down in the description. From there, I went to the 3D text. Again, this is what the 3D text ended up looking like after I was done. And I'm just gonna break down how I did that real quick. Use the Flexure text, just cut out a little section right here and then just use the words Bryant. Pull that down. Let's actually go back in. I did an arc, just a small like arc lower, and then pulled it up some. I'd say 30 is about right, just so it could fit the top text just a little bit better. And then from there, I actually right clicked and I went to convert to smart object. So this is gonna just make it a layer. From there, I went to transform perspective. I did that, the smart object, just because we wanted the perspective, which you can't do just on a regular type layer. And then I pulled the bottom out, like I flared it, just more space for the 3D to sit in, honestly. And then from there, I did Control T and I'm gonna hold Shift down and I'm gonna pull it down to where I feel like it's a good fit. So next, just gonna duplicate it just to have a backup. I did this in an older Photoshop, so the 3D function was still available. I'm gonna be making a new video showing you guys how to do 3D stuff without this 3D option here, but just for the sake of this video, I'm gonna be using this. I believe the last version you could use 3D in was 25.3.1. Again, if you have Adobe Creative Cloud, you can just go back and download the older version and keep the regular modern version and just switch the projects back and forth between each other. Or like I said, I'm gonna be dropping a new video showing you guys how to do it, without having to use this version of Photoshop. But again, for the sake of this tutorial, this is what I used. So we went to 3D, new 3D extrusion from selected layer. Yes, on switching the workspace, we can always go back to the other one and it's gonna bring you to this. Now, the first thing I did was right here, we turned off cast shadows and we turned off catch shadows, both of these. And then we rotated, kind of just giving us the look that we want to. Don't worry if it's sitting on top of this text, we can always move it down some. Just wanna adjust the extrusion depth just to fit what we're doing. You don't want it all the way down here. So we just kind of something in the middle. And next I went to the light right here because this is where you can set the color and the shadows. A lot of the times I like to go through these little preset options at the top, and I don't necessarily worry about the color of the text. I more so worry about how the back, like the 3D text looks, like the 3D part of the text. I just like to see the shadows, just as much detail as possible. You don't want it to be so black to where you can't really see what it is. See, like this, for example, it's a bit too dark. So I just like to scroll through some presets until I find something that I like. See something maybe like this. Trick I like to do is go back to layers right here. This way you don't have to go up here and go to render 3D layer, because that takes 30 minutes to an hour and we don't have time to waste like that. So just gonna right click and go to convert to smart object. That way you're not necessarily rendering it completely, but you're getting it down to a layer to where you can still operate with it. And boom, we're back into our layer and we can move it around like such and we still have the 3D effect. Just gonna try to make this fit just a little bit better. It's because we moved it into 3D. Just gonna try to get it to line up. That's fine. So now we have the Bryant top layer and the bottom layer separated. I used this one right here. I'll leave these particular text styles down in the description. I believe I just applied this one and then went in, and then I always go to pattern overlay and then I click snap to origin just to give it a little bit of a better look. Or I kind of adjust it how I see fit. And from there, I'm gonna duplicate this a couple times, this top layer that we're working with. I applied I believe it was this one first, to kind of give it just like a little metallic outline. And on this one, I had this one, which ended up looking like this. But I'm gonna hold control and I'm gonna click on this box right here, and it's gonna select our text. Now what we're gonna do is go to select, modify, contract. I think I did it about 5 or 10 pixels or so. And then I'm gonna go to select again, inverse, and we're gonna delete. Oh, so let's actually clear this real quick. We're gonna rasterize the layer just so we can make changes to it. And again, delete. So we're deleting a little bit of the outer part of it just so it can stand out a little bit more. And then we're gonna go to that same style. We're gonna apply that. And then on top, we're gonna do the same thing to this layer as well. Rasterize layer, turn this one on. But for this one, we're gonna do the same thing. Select, modify, contract. I'm gonna do like 15 this time. And then again, select, inverse, and we're gonna delete that outside part. And then we're gonna apply this particular diamond one. And of course, I went back with just some bling brushes. I have a pack that has a bunch of these in it. So I just took little star brushes, just boom, boom, and just added them in, you know. So these brushes come with all of my vintage cover textile packs, basically all the other bling packs that I have. You get these brushes as well. After we were done with the text, I started working on the main render, which is the main Kobe image right here. So of course I just had a regular picture, did the remove background, and it gave me the mask. So it did that. Don't worry about all this because this was pretty much done after the fact, after I started adding in some other elements. From there, I did a black and white. From here, boom, right clicked on it and I said create clipping mask and made it black and white. Then I came to this mask right here and I took a black brush, just a regular brush, and I went over the Lakers and the 8 just to bring back the color to that. And then I took another color, like a brown, light brown color, somewhere like around here, like just something that's similar to like a lighter skin tone, like a brown skin tone. And I filled in the skin like this. Filled in the skin and removed the eyes and set it to vivid light just to give the skin a consistent tone. And that's all we did for that. And then I started working on the other elements like the background, the Jumbotron. So this is what it looked like originally, just Lakers win. Just it's something nice that could fit in the background. I found an image of Kobe holding the championship, and I put that in there, just scaled it down and rotated it just to make it fit inside the box. Got the mask and just removed some of the outline just so it wouldn't stick out too far past the image. Like a lot of this is just gonna be covered up by the main image and stuff, all the other side stuff. And I also just did some small color adjustments, just some black and white selective colors and some leveling just to kind of match it, you know, to the actual Jumbotron. So that was a big part of the background image. Let's bring back the main Kobe right here. And then let's do the Lakers logo. So again, just a random Lakers logo. Stuck it on the side, kind of rotated it just to make it fit a little bit better. And we're gonna fill this part in next in a second, but let's continue on with the Kobe image on the left right here. I did the same thing as the main image. Again, just a random image that we had, made it black and white, and then again went over it with that same color. So let's bring this layer back. So went over it with the color again, as you can see. And yeah, don't worry about this part because this part's kind of going to be covered up by something else that I'll go over later in the video. Same thing with the right, same exact process. Took the image, took a skin tone, made it all one even color. We got our images here. Let's go to the side face, which is another part of the image right here in the back. So same thing again. Took the image, removed the background. As you can see, it's a big image. Just made it fit where I needed it to fit. Masked it off, did a black and white, did a selective color to kind of blend it in with the with the rest of the background, and a little bit of level adjustments to try to blend it in a little bit more. And that's what we have so far. Now the star image right here, to get stars, because they just have these random assortment of shapes right now, you got to go to this little bar right here and then go to legacy shapes and more. And it'll bring back all the old shapes that used to be in Photoshop way back in the day. For what reason they hid them, I don't know. But it just gives you so many more options. So I went to shapes right here, and as you can see, it gives you a star. So I just clicked the star, and then I dragged it out and made me a little star that fit. And then I added just some simple effects: bevel, emboss, stroke, a drop shadow. So yeah, this is the original image. Just made a cutout and then zoomed in, just went over it with the lasso tool and just kept in some of the parts like the fingers and stuff, just went over all of that. That's how you get like the main image to stick out past the mask. You just go back in and make sure you have this selected and just go around and cut out the part that you want, and it'll select it, and then you can bring it back into the image. And then again, same process, black and white, adjusting the levels a little bit just to make it fit, and then the same skin tone thing. And I added some bling stars on that as well. And the next part is the actual fireball. So I found like a render that it's basically like just a fireball, and I added it on all the basketballs just to kind of give it like an NBA Jam type of thing, just to make the graphics stand out a bit. And I added masks on all of them, and I removed some of the inside of the ball so you can actually see, like, let me just give you an example here. Just disable this mask. So that's how it looked. And then I took a brush and just brushed out some of the ball. Simple. And yeah, that's most of it. And the last part was the actual snake that I had going in and out of the text. So to do that, I just had a snake render here. So I used two different ones. So let's disable these, just two different snake renders. Remove the background, and then yeah, I just kind of moved them where I needed to move them. And then again, just took the brush and went behind, like brushed it behind the text, like removed everything that was behind it, just so it kind of moved seamless. Kind of had to move this one, like the head, around just to kind of make it fit, because in this one, the head was way over here, so it wouldn't have fit unless I moved it around manually. Just some finishing touches. I did the vintage grunge effect from my vintage actions pack. So to do that, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to our artboard. We're gonna make it transparent because it has to be transparent in order for this to work. We're gonna go to Control A, Control Shift C, and we're gonna go to Control V to paste in place. So that's gonna give us our entire graphic right here. And then once you're done with that, you're gonna wanna go to Vintage T-shirt Grunge Effect, just click on it, click Continue, and just click Continue, and we're gonna let it load up. It's gonna do a little effect here, and we're gonna click OK, just click OK straight through it. Just click Continue, and you're done. So it adds kind of like this grain effect and a few other things onto it. So I got these halftones from my T-shirt auto builder pack. I just took the halftones layer and just dragged it in here. And I added halftones on top of it. And then I masked, I clicked here and added a mask from it. And yeah, and that's pretty much the whole design. It's transparent, and yeah. Okay, so moving on to the back, same type of process. Again, just placing images and putting things where they need to go. So again, I started with the same cloud layer, just moved it up a little bit, and added a blue color to it through color overlay, and just set it to that. I added a little star field and just some space images. So then I added this globe that's like half globe, half basketball. This is in our Streetwear asset pack, if I remember correctly. This is exact render, so if you want to use that, you can get it from there. And then around the outside, I added just some text, basically Kobe's like a career achievements around the outside of the ball. I believe I just did a circle shape or something similar to this, and I just took text and then I just wrote around it. It's basically an ellipse, and then you click the edge of the ellipse and you add text to it. So that's how I did that. And for that, I used the same exact font, the Flexure font that we used in the beginning. Okay, so from there, I started at the bottom with the images. So the Kobe left, let's see. Again, I did an ellipse with the same type of border on around the outside. So just take a circle shape and hold shift, and then it'll make a perfect circle. I added the bevel and stroke and stuff. I believe on this one is actually just a stroke. Added just a Kobe image, and I right clicked on the ellipse and I made a mask out of it, out of this image. So I just went here, click this button right here, and it makes a mask in that shape. And then again, from there, just to have like the finger and part of the head sticking out, polygonal lasso tool, add to selection, make sure you click this one right here. And then you could come in and add the finger and go around the outside of the head and add the head. Then I did a black and white, make sure it's a clipping mask or it's gonna affect everything that's underneath it. And same process, added the coloring, just took a brush, took the same color that I used before and just filled in the skin, removed the white just to give it a flat tone. And I repeated that process for the right, same exact thing, just a different image. Same exact thing. And then I did the star in the middle. So basically the same thing I did in the front, it's just different shape, the same star shape, made the star, and I followed the same principles. Used the polygonal lasso tool to cut out the arm and the finger, and I took the brush, and especially on the black and white right here, I took the brush and used black to bring back the color from the jersey. Then I made a new layer and added just the paint job on the skin tone and added a black and white levels just to kind of get the colors exactly how I wanted them to. And that's how I added those images. And then this one was pretty tricky right here, the main Kobe image that's in the middle. This image originally had a different head to it. Pause. So let's disable this mask. This is the original image. But I like the fact that Kobe, you know, he had his hands out, but I didn't like the fact that he was looking to the side. So I went and I found another image. Reinhale this mask. I went and I found another image that kind of had the same, it was from the same NBA season, so we kind of looked the same. I didn't want to put old Kobe on number 8, you know. So this is actually the original image that I used right here. So I took that Kobe that was looking straight away and I masked his head off. I took the head off, and so this is what it looks like. I just cut him, like went around right around the neck, and I kind of matched the skin tones as much as possible, made it black and white. I brought back some of the colors from the Lakers, so by doing that in the black and white, just took the brush and just went around the Lakers and the 8 and the sides of the jersey just to bring the color back. Did that for both. And then again, the same coloring, same thing, same process, just went in with the skin tone and filled it out just to make it one flat kind of layer. So, I mean, that's pretty much it for the back and the text. The text followed the same exact thing I did in the front. So I did a 3D layer, 3D extrusion from selected layer, stretched it back. I added a effect to it just to kind of give it the metal outline. I believe it was this one right here, and then I adjusted the colors a little bit, made it black and white, and then adjusted the brightness to taste, both clipping mask, and on top I added the same little kind of like desert textile just because I wanted the yellow. I added the purple on top of it. I did the same process with the text, so by selecting the text and then just for example control clicking and selecting and modifying and contracting, same thing. That's why you see this yellow creeping around, you know, creeping out just a little bit, because it's just kind of shrinking and shrinking just to give it a little bit more depth. And yeah, that's pretty much it, man. It didn't take me that long. Followed the same process, did the same vintage grunge effect, you know, the same action effect. And I did the halftones, clicked on it after the fact, and created a mask, and all the halftones sat exactly inside of what we created. And yeah, that was pretty much the back. Again, this stuff isn't necessarily complicated. It just takes a little bit of creativity and a little bit of time. You know, it's easy to go over it after the fact than when you're actually making it, you know, and you're spending time coloring it in and stuff. But I just wanted to make this a quick tutorial and just a quick breakdown of how you can create stuff like this. Here's the final products, and yeah, that's pretty much how it went. So I would actually wear this shirt sometimes. No bullshit. I actually wear this shirt. So yeah, I hope you guys learned something. If you like the video, go ahead, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We're bringing a little bit more content. I know that the tutorials have kind of slowed down a little bit, but finally got a little bit more time, so I'm gonna be making a few more videos. Tap in with me if you want to learn some more design tips, get presets and all kind of stuff like that, other different things that can help you create. Signing out. Peace.